Up next, we had our main event of the evening, Cena Kane stretcher match. Don't care, don't care, don't care. Cena wins, LOL.
You want to move on? That was perfect. Uh, I guess I should just say something real quick. I guess about the match. Honestly, guys, I had more problems with my stream here, so a lot of the cool moments like Kane, I believe it was, going through the announce table and the DDT on the steel steps and all that stuff, I missed, which disappointed me. But at least they tried going all out for the stretcher match. And the ending, because of course it has to be an ending that not only exhibits the dominance of Cena, but is supposed to really, I guess, just be a shot of inspiration to those watching, because Kane sits up when it looks like Cena's close to victory. He throttles Cena by the throat. Cena, picks Kane up, and attitude adjusts him onto the stretcher, finishing the job. Cena wins.
LOL.
LOL, exactly.
Yeah. I will say at one point, Seth Rollins and Randy Orton get involved in this. They come in and start beating down Cena, at which point Dean Ambrose comes in to equalize things, and he takes out both Rollins and Orton, which was amazing to watch. So the only real bad thing about that, though, is I feel like we're going to get a Ambrose Cena tag match against Orton and Rollins, probably on SmackDown, which is kind of annoying, but I guess tolerable.
It'll be a good match. I just hope they don't do, and I don't think they would, but I hope they don't do any kind of even remotely hammy backstage segment with Cena and Ambrose. I just want to just picture Ambrose just brewing in some dark corner and stewing until his name is called up, and then just releasing all that pent up anger on Rollins. Honestly, even though we've seen it a million times, I wouldn't even mind, because of the nature of the storyline, if we got kind of like what we got tonight with Layla and Summer Rae and Fandango and Adam Rose, where we have Adam Rose and Seth Rollins just fighting through the crowd, or Dean Ambrose. I said Adam Rose. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins just fighting through the crowd, and just leaving Cena and Randy Orton alone in the ring as Money in the Bank world title competitors.
Right.
And they just do it like that. Because, yeah, I don't want this to be like a traditional tag match. I want it to just be a straight-up fight with all four guys. Ambrose, again, just being that lunatic fringe. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I can see why you'd be annoyed.
To me, if they do that match, it's going to end by DQ, because there's no way they're going to leave Rollins and Ambrose in the ring together one-on-one when they're in a tag match, because they're trying to set them up for a one-on-one feud at pay-per-view.
Yeah, I could just see this match ending in absolute chaos, where all of the main feuds, so to speak, kind of converge. I could see it ending in DQ, and again, Ambrose and Rollins fighting up through the crowd or up the ramp or whatever, and then you have Cesaro come out, maybe he nails a finisher, Sheamus comes out, he hits a bro kick, Alberto Del Rio comes out, he nails some stuff, Roman Reigns, I mean, you get the picture. So, yeah, I could definitely see SmackDown ending in that very chaotic fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, dude, let's go ahead and move on then. You know what's next. High spots and low shots.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love this segment. This is going to be a tough one to call for both categories this week because of how great this Raw was. But to me, because of circumstances alone, my low shot is Rusev. Make no mistake, he is still dominant. He is still a monster. He didn't look weak by any means. But the fact is, he came within an eyelash of being a part of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match at Money in the Bank. And he did get eliminated by Roman Reigns. To come that close to something and lose, even looking as strong as Rusev did, and believe me, he looked strong, still doesn't mean that your night ended on an exclamatory note. So to me, because Rusev came up short, he's my low shot.
My low shot is the Authority, because Stephanie McMahon puked, Triple H had to deal with it, Roman Reigns got into the Money in the Bank ladder match, and John Cena beat Kane.
Yeah. It seemed like just last week, I don't know, because I felt like the Authority just a short time ago was a high spot or something, or we said that they had such a great night.
Yeah. I mean, it happens quite often because they, as a unit, tend to kind of flow together. Like if one of them has a bad night, they all have a bad night. So it kind of makes it easy for me to pick them as a unit for one or the other, whether it's high spot or low shot.
Right. And yeah, I mean, just coming off of Rollins' turn, and they were riding high because it seemed like they had the ball completely back in their court again. Daniel Bryan getting stripped, so all of these monumental victories But tonight, man, everything that they had worked so hard to acquire in one way or another just soured because Dean Ambrose has started to get his hands on Seth Rollins. Cena did overcome Kane. You know Bryan's going to be back eventually because you can't keep a great fighter down. So the Authority, I think, is losing their grip once again. So that's a great choice by you. My high spot. Oh, man, who's my high spot going to be? You know what? I'm going to go the obvious pick this week. My high spot's Roman Reigns.
There you go.
The
I'm
guy
glad
killed
you
it.
picked him. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I almost have to pick Roman Reigns with the markouts that I've given this guy in my fandom history and all that stuff. I have to stick by my boy Roman Reigns. The Mastodon killed it tonight. Double spear to Ryback, so Superman punches all day, every day. Fandango, Rusev. If he had one to give, you certainly got it. And he's going to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match. Lights are on bright. Again, me and Ashton both agree. He's probably not going to win. Roman Reigns, man, he has that effect of sneaking up on you, so don't take your eyes off the Mastodon, for sure.
All right, dude. Well, you took the obvious high spot. I'm going to take a slightly less obvious, but still just as personally biased high spot. Dean Ambrose.
Dude, that's fantastic to me.
He had literally three of all, like, if you were to make a list of the top three loudest pops of the night, all three of them would have Dean Ambrose's name next to them. Or actually, at least two of the three, because I will say that the Reigns Rusev face-off was right there. But Ambrose is massively over as a face. He finally got an opportunity to shine as a singles competitor tonight. He had a great match with Bad News Barrett, which, despite losing, he still totally got his comeuppance for. And he got on his hands on Seth Rollins, not once, but twice tonight.
Yeah, no, dude, I think you make an excellent case for Dean Ambrose being your high spot. To me, he was just so fantastic. So fantastic. He got such a loud pop from the crowd. And really, it amazes me how well he has pulled off being that sympathetic babyface. And I couldn't be happier for him. I couldn't be happier for you as a Dean Ambrose guy. I mean, as big a Dean Ambrose guy as you can get. For him to have this success, the Shield, or what was left of it, I mean, they're still running the show. Together or apart, it doesn't matter. You're always in their yard, and that's something I think the rest of the talents are going to have to get used to.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about that is we went from the Shield being a part of one, maybe two segments as a unit, to now being a part of 4 or 5 segments as individuals.
They're running the show. I mean, it's their yard.
I mean,
I
I
love it.
remember at one point in December, because we had all 3 Shield guys in singles matches against other people, we called it SmackDown is Shield. It's not too far off that we're going to be seeing Raw is Shield.
We've even opened up some Twitwell Raw reviews that way. And I feel like, as you said, it's not going to be long before that just is the reality.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful reality to live in. Like, I will choose to take the red pill if that is, what's waiting for us. Because the Shield is just quality television each and every week. They are what the future is about when people speak about future talents that are going to main event WrestleManias or carry companies on their backs. You think of the Shield. And I'm really proud of both Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And hell, I'm proud of Seth Rollins. I feel like he's done an excellent job with this heel turn so far. And I'm telling you, if we just get Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins and Money in the Bank, I will just personally explode. It's going to be awesome.
Definitely. It's going to be awesome. So let's move on since we have that segment done and out of the way. Raw request.
You already heard mine earlier in the night. You know, I don't want it to be where Roman Reigns is a lone man on an island and Dean Ambrose, for whatever reason, turns heel on Roman Reigns because, I don't know. I have had my reservations, about that potentially happening, despite the fact that he's been so good as a sympathetic babyface as of late. I don't think they'd want to sully it. You never know with WWE. Let them have an amicable phase out. Just let them grow their own identities while still being the Shield. I don't want to be corny, but at heart. And, just say, hey, we took care of Seth Rollins, we took care of the Authority, now let's just take care of ourselves. And, maybe in a few anniversary shows or this, that, or the other, they reunite and they dominate, including Seth Rollins if he's babyface at that point.
Oh,
And
yeah, that would be awesome.
And we just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everything has to be this climactic, like, oh, he stabbed him in the back and now he had his, like, I would be so happy if it ended that way because they were a great group. I think Rollins was sufficient because you have to get that kind of a story out of it. It's almost obligatory when you have a long-standing team or faction. So I get it. They did it with Rollins. It's great because he's a bumping machine and nobody expected it. So I think you're definitely going to get your investment back tenfold. And yeah, you just let Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, they go their separate ways and they dominate. So that's my Raw request.
My real request is more Stardust. I want a character evolution. I want them to treat it like a different character. I want them to really kayfabe it up. Don't even acknowledge that it's Cody Rhodes. Do the exact opposite, basically, with this than TNA is doing with Willow, because that's just plain stupid, and they figured out that that doesn't work. So WWE should use that formula, flip it on its head, and make it work with Stardust.
Yeah, I completely agree with your Raw request. Stardust is amazing. I definitely want to see more from the character. I want to learn about his promo style, the rest of his repertoire, and I think all of your recommendations for the character were sound and on point. I just want to share very quickly before we close out. I just read what happened after tonight's Raw. The dark segment after tonight's WWE Raw in Cleveland saw Dean Ambrose recover and hit dirty deeds on Seth Rollins after what they describe as a handful of chair shots. John Cena poked fun at Rollins and put him back down with an attitude adjustment before Roman Reigns speared Rollins to end the show. So Rollins got beat down.
So they're basically thinking Rollins is the top heel now, even though it's clearly Rusev, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking to me, my friend. That's the way it's looking to me.
He's the corporate heel. That makes him the best heel.
That might be the logic, man. I mean, even though you said it like that way, I think that's kind of their mindset about it. You know, Seth Rollins is cozying up to Triple H and the Authority, and let's put him in that spot. Which, hey, if that's his spot, great, because Seth Rollins, again, that's another guy you're gonna get your return on your investment tenfold. So no complaints.
Absolutely. All right, dude. I mean, that's our Raw requests. Let's get this baby closed out.
All right, guys, with that all said, this has been Raw. This has been TwitWow, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment and subscribe on YouTube, discuss on Tweetoff, and we will see you again for our NXT review as what will happen when I assume that Alexa Bliss is going to be going one-on-one with the boss, Sasha Banks.